channel. How's you up to everybody? Okay. Look, we're just a few weeks away now from the start of the season. And yeah, I want to ask the question really. Are Spurs there we go. I'm back. Don't know what happened there. Internet went a bit screw whiff there. How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? I'll go to the comments in a minute. Just wanted to go over a little bit of what the show was going to be about tonight. Or today, not today, this afternoon. I'm not used to streaming in the afternoon. To get used to that. And anyway, yeah, just back to the show. What I wanted to talk about today, guys, is look, we've had some preseason games, right? We've had some new signings, more transfers, not to be expected. But is this squad where it needs to be? Are Spurs running out of time? So that's kind of a bit of the discussion to debate today, whatever you want to call it. I want to hear from you. Do you agree with me, or do you think I'm just being too negative? Get your thoughts in the live chat. We'll go over it in a minute. And yeah, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, smash the like and all of that. Thank you so much. You know what you're going to get from me. No clickbait, no agendas. Well, it might be a little bit of an agenda. Just real football debate. So yeah, so get involved with the chat, guys. And yeah, what you thinking about? Yeah, it's not long now so that season starts. Cookie's going to be joining us soon, so we'll get him in when he's just running a little bit behind. But as soon as he's in, we'll get him in the room as well. So yeah, appreciate you all being here. Let's go to the chat. Just say a few hellos to people. See who's with us. Guys in the chat, big up, Guy. How you doing, man? Woohoo! Lunchtime stream. Afternoon to you, mate. Hope you're good. Nice one, Dan, for using the correct kit in the thumbnail. People use of AI is wild. I don't know what you mean, mate. You have to explain it a little bit more. But I hope it's all right. Big up to Kate as well. How you doing, Kate? Dan the man, good afternoon live. And I've got Nige in the chat as well. Nige, how you doing, man? Big up, Dan. Cooks and chat. And Kate says, rumours about Nicholas Jackson from Chelsea. I mean, look, rumours galore, isn't it? Yeah, when we don't know really who's going to be coming in, those two attacking players, it's just a free-for-all, isn't it? Any old rumour will go on. What do you think of Nicholas Jackson? I don't think he was great when he played at Chelsea. Don't know what sort of season he had at Bayern Munich. I heard he done okay, but, he wasn't the main man there. Not too sure how many goals he got there. I remember when he was playing for Chelsea, people didn't rate him. So, yeah, what do people think of Nicholas Jackson? A bit underwhelming for me, to be honest. Kate says, did the light Dan, not ready, haha. Cheers, Kate. Thank you very much. Afternoon to Daryl. How you doing, Daryl? ENIC have never done a window that's finished. You're always left with what if. And this is it, isn't it, Daryl? Like, if they're going to go all big, you might as well do the whole thing then, isn't it? Get them forwards in, top quality forwards, and complete the good business that we've done so far. Yes, I know I keep saying we're not going to get the squad completely ready by the start of this season. I mean, in regards to shipping out every bit of deadwood we got in the club, getting kind of backup for every position, it's very, very difficult. That's going to need to be done over the next few windows. But look, there's money to spend. The club are taking in a lot of money from sales. They're in a healthy financial position. So there's not really an excuse for Spurs not to get a couple of top quality attackers into the first team, into the squad before the start of the season, in my eyes anyway. Just go to a couple of chats. Linked to Nicholas Jackson now. I know it's just underwhelming, isn't it, man? Honestly, it's just a free fall, isn't it? Because we don't know what this mystery bomber is. Names are cropping up all day long. Big up to Anthony. How you doing, Anthony? Hope you're good. Dodgy internet. Yeah, tell me about it. I'll sort it out now. I think what happened, it switched to my house internet, and I've got an extension. So I'll put it on the extension now, which reaches me where I'm streaming. So, yeah, it should be all good now. Big up to Mark Taylor as well. How you doing, Mark? Hope you're good. Nice says through the internet has turned off for a minute. It's working now. It's working. Big up goes to the chat as well. How you doing? Guy says, I agree with you, mate. No, this time it's ticking. The time is ticking. Big up to Donnell in the chat as well. Dan will finish above United, Chelsea, Liverpool. We have better teams than them currently. A lot of confidence in your team. I think with United, obviously it's going to be tough for them. They're playing in Champions League. They need to get some players in before the start of the season as well, because I just don't think they got the depth. And they're going to find that difficult, like a lot of teams do, playing in the Champions League and competing in the Premier League. Big season ahead for them. And it's like, I know a lot of these other clubs haven't done business yet. They will get the business done. They will. And I'm sure a lot of these bigger teams will have better teams going into the new season, better squad. So, with predictions around Spurs, I'd like to really see who we bring in before the end of the window, and then also have a look at the other clubs as well and see what they've got, because that's who we're going to be competing against. So they may have not done the business yet, and you might think, well, they're going to be short, and there's still time for them to improve. So we'll see. We'll see. Chelsea, the new manager with them, they've made some okay signings. Obviously, the big signing in Rodgers. They're looking in. I saw their link to that keeper this morning. I don't know how much truth it is. I think it's Diego Costa. They're looking at bringing him in, top keeper. They're going to be getting some more players in before the start of the window. But again, they've got question marks at their defence. They've got about 10 centre-backs. Obviously, they can't play them all. They're going to have to ship some out. They've got some good forward players. Midfield is okay. I think they've got a couple of good midfielders, Chelsea. Maybe that 2 or 3. So, yeah, they're a good side. But, Alonso's a good manager. They've got a lot of youth. They're going to the likes of Henderson coming in and Welbeck. Yeah, good player. So I think they'll be in about, that top end of the table. They've got no Europe again, but, a new manager. You don't know how they're going to adjust. Yeah, we'll have to see. It's a bit unknown, really. Are they going to hit the ground running? Anthony says that Anthony Robertson, my left back, mate, he got done the other day. Not a good start, is it? Not a good start. I think with Robertson, like I've already said, he's got to be coming off the bench, I reckon, second half when we need a goal, need to create something. Doggy, where's the doggy, guys? I ain't seen him pre-season. Is he injured again? Where has he been? He wasn't in the World Cup. I don't get it. Why ain't he played? Why ain't he playing? Probably wrapping up in cotton wool. Yeah, it's just this player, doggy. That's why I said we needed to get a better left back, but we're going with Robertson, and it's got to work, isn't it? De Zerbi said, yeah, bring him in. It's got to work. If it doesn't, then there'll be questions. Goes to the chat, says, I don't listen to fans calling us negative. They were the same ones telling us to be happy clap when we nearly get relegated. Exactly, mate. Exactly. Afternoon to Logan. How you doing, Logan? Afternoon, Dan. Big up, mate. Big up to you. Hope you're good. Big up to Sniper's Dream as well. How you doing, man? Damn right, we're not ready. Historically, fourth needs 1.71 goals per game. We're not even hitting that with meaningless friendlies. So it's just these friendlies, man. It's just exhibition matches. Playing abroad, pleasing the abroad fans, which is all good. But them teams, it's just such a mismatch, guys. Honestly, you can't read much into it. Fitness, I guess, players in and out, coming, playing a half, getting changed. A lot of youngsters. Obviously, De Zerbi's mulling over which kind of young players he wants to involve in the first team squad next season. A bit of that. Players playing for Spurs, making their debuts. But it's just, it's not going to be any rhythm, any cohesion. You're not really going to see a clear system with that sort of lineups. And I'm a little bit worried that, we've only got kind of 3 pre-season friendlies to play. We've got 1 at the ground against Hoffenheim, and then we play Hoffenheim again the next day in the training ground. And then the one coming up in the weekend is against Getafe in the training ground as well. And I'm sure they'll be all on Spurs play. But surely we could have had some games in some stadiums, even if it was away in the UK or our stadium. Wonder why. Is there concerts going on at the stadium? Is that why? I had a little look at the events and see if there's an event at the Tottenham Stadium the weekend coming, and there's not. So I don't understand why Spurs can't play that game at home. I don't understand it. What we need to do is start seeing, this team come together now. Play as many first-team players as possible. The ones not ready from the World Cup, fair enough. But the others, what available, we need to start putting them in place. I want us to start seeing De Zerbi get this team going, get the system right, get a bit of cohesion, best team as possible, and play as many games as possible before the start of the season. Yes, obviously you've got a sub second half, not play the whole game, kind of ease some of them in. But I want to start to see what this De Zerbi football is going to look like now. The pre-season's been going for a little while now. He's got some of the players he's wanted. Yeah, I'm sure it'll come together in some sort of way. Anthony saying no to Jackson. No, I don't like him. Yeah, not keen. Not keen. Guy says anyone who shuts down conversation by saying you're negative is just a silly person tool to stop the conversation because they can't discuss it at that level. Look, Spurs fans are positive, some are negative, some are balanced. Some are very excited for the season, and a lot of their streams are very positive. But we've got to be realistic here. This team is nowhere near ready for the start of the season. We ain't got the forwards in. We haven't seen the team play together, in pre-season. Hopefully, we'll see that in the next couple of games. Get some of the players back from the World Cup and start seeing what this is going to look like before the season. Because Brentford is coming up away from home. It's going to be an interesting game, that one. I mean, we played them, didn't we, a couple of seasons ago, wasn't it? Under, I think it was under Ange, was it? We played them. I think that was our first game. I think it was a draw, I think, in the end. So, yeah, they're spending a bit of money. They're a settled side, so it's not going to be an easy game. Nigel's just called it out as well. Jackson is shit. Yes, he is. He's definitely shit. And Ghost said, now apparently we should relax and everything is all good because ENIC has started to do what they should have been doing years ago. Look, guys, it's good that we're spending all this money and stuff and we've managed to ship players out. Still more to go. But, this whole project, this whole new ENIC, people put it 2.0, this has got to be proved over a few transfer windows. And, they haven't got this window right yet. A bit of work to do. Logan says, apparently Jackson to Spurs rumours are not true. Thank God. Yeah, probably ITK's rubbish, isn't it? Just be honest here. Ricky, hello, how you doing, Ricky? Hope you're good. Garnacho was available cheap. No, thank you. No, thank you. Look, I'm not saying, guys, we're not going to have a good season. Obviously I'm kind of, what do you want to call it? What's the word for it now? Skeptical. Yeah. I'm a Tottenham fan. Like, what I've been through the last 25 years, that's just going to run right through me, right? I'm not saying at all that we might have a good season. But I'm gonna question things. I'm gonna be worried. If you weren't, as a Spurs fan, if you're not a little bit worried, then what's wrong with you? There's going to be ups and downs next season. It's not going to run smoothly. All these new players all got to click, and that's why I think sometimes when fans are saying we must finish in like top 5, top 4, top 6, I don't know. I don't know if maybe we can. I'm not saying it's impossible if we stay injury free. Everything clicks, we get the forwards in that are going to score the goals, then maybe. But I'm just I'm waiting until this window's closed, see what the squad looks like, have a look across the other teams in the Premier League and see what they're doing, and then we'll see. And I've already said this, I said this a few times online, that if we second part of the season and then we're challenging for European positions, we deserve what we get. Do you know what I mean? We deserve what we get. But to say we have to, with the level of money I spend, I get it. There is pressure. De Zerbi's going to want to qualify for Champions League. He's got, he's going to have his own goals. The club are going to have expectation. The fan base, rival fans, the expectation is going to be high, splashing nearly 200 million on 2 midfielders. I get the pressure. But this squad, you've got to remember, guys, we finished 17th the last 2 seasons. We had to spend that money to get us back up to competing again and not losing games of football and being a competitive side again. This is how I see it. I'm not saying we can't do it. It's not impossible, but I want to wait and see what this looks like. A lot of work to do, especially before the season starts. Sniper Dream said Jackson was celebrating scoring a hat-trick against us. Oh, damn, Jesus, remember that? Oh, my days. Horrible memories, man. They brought back some horrible memories there. Guy from the lane says, I've just had people responds, we spent over 280 million, as if it's some sort of response. Afternoon to Brian. How you doing, Brian? Big up to everyone in the chat. My brother Dan, hope you're well. I'm good, man. I haven't seen you around, Brian. Hope you're good, man. How's work? How's everything? How's life? Let us know, man. Been busy, haven't you, with your job? Haven't seen you a lot on stream. I'm sure we'll be back at some point. Give us your thoughts on that. What you think going into the new season, your expectations. Been very quiet, Brian. Ain't seen a lot from you, man. I hope you're good. Kate says, Logan, hi, love. Glad that's not true. Yeah, about Jackson. A few hellos in the chat there. Where's Cookie, mate? Hurry up, Cookie. Where is he? Where is Cookie? Oh, here he comes. Talk of the devil. Here he is. Let's get him in. Let's get him into the stream. Here we go. Here he is.
You're going to have to excuse me. I'm in the middle of taking tablets I should have took 3 hours ago, mate. I've been running around like an headless chicken. I do apologise. You're going to have to keep talking. Look, I've got me bit of toast here and 3 tablets to go down. I'm so sorry.
Mate, settle yourself in. Have your tablets, have your toast. And when you're ready to jump in, mate, you go. There's lots to say. There's lots of comments in the chat. Got a message from Brian. Brian, I just sent you a message, mate. By all means, come on and join us. I ain't spoke to you for a while. Come in and get involved in the conversation, mate. No problem at all. I just sent you the link. Let's have a look in the chat. Dino in the chat, how you doing? Good afternoon. Jackson links us to be a joke, surely. Look, the link was at the beginning of the show, and then it's ended already. So that one didn't last long, did it?
Well, he ain't no bomber, is he?
He ain't no bomber, no. Afternoon, Brian. How you doing, man?
Good.
I ain't seen you around, buddy. Where you been, mate? You been busy working?
Yeah, mate. I'm working. What time do I work your time? 4 a.m. to midday. So I've been working hard. Ben started the coffee shop, so it's been a bit hard to get content out, but we will be back. And yeah, mate, I've just kept quiet because I'm just in a place of zen this window whilst it all goes on. I'm not listening to all the news. I'm not listening to all the hype. I'm not listening to the bullshit. I listen to David Ornstein and David Ornstein only. And I'm just not going to get suckered in to all this shit. Life is wonderful at the moment. Both football, both Spurs at the moment with what's going on and what we're trying to do. Wouldn't say not wonderful, but the signings we've made. And I'm not getting suckered into the Romanos, the Plessenberg, all these bullshit when nothing's happening. Yeah, by the way, this guy is a known troll to every single channel, who's boring and pathetic, which is the only thing I'll say on that. But yeah, I'm absolutely fine at the moment. I'm not getting. Do I want the front line addressed? Absolutely.
Brian, what I will say, Brian, is I mean the way you're going, you're doing it. That I mean, I totally get it, mate. I mean, being a Spurs content creator, being a Spurs fan, I mean, it's draining, it's exhausting. There is a lot of negativity. There is a lot of arguments, and and actually just having a little step away from it, I think is very healthy, mate.
It's not even taking a step away. I'm on social media a lot. If I've got time to go on channels. Like I have now,
going live and stuff and getting involved with the debates because you know me, I'm very critical. There is a lot of critical people on there, and what I'm trying to say is that I haven't seen you getting involved in those debates. You're like, look, we got the signings. Let's see what it looks like by the end of the window. Yeah,
mate. Do you know what it is now? I've got a job that I love. I've got responsibilities. I hardly get to see my wife now because I work nights, she works days. And I've got a lot going for me right now. So why do I want to get suckered in to where it takes me before with all this rubbish? Just for example, Savinho. This whole Savinho news that's been going on for a year. And if you were to go into Romano's tweets and just search Savinho, this man has been dining off Spurs fans and Savinho by rewording, repackaging and rephrasing utter bullshit. We're edging closer. We've made a move. We haven't made a move. We put a bid in. We're waiting for City to come back for the table. We're waiting for. He's still there. He's still there. Romero, edging closer. Oh, this is happening. He's going there. He's going there. He's still here. Gapco. Literally, everyone's going nuts about it. Ornstein has stayed absolutely quiet. When there's news to break, Ornstein breaks it, and then he goes away. He doesn't cash in and retweet 100 billion times. And I am just literally not getting... I said to myself, as Mark knows very, very well, this window, I'm just going to let it ride, let it roll. Do we need forwards? Absolutely. Do I think we'll bring them in? Absolutely, I do. Absolutely, I do. Would I have wanted them sooner? Absolutely. But I'm just going to take it. When Ornstein breaks some news, there's news to talk about. I'm just not going to fall about it.
You didn't get sucked into the to the Osman.
Mate, I literally I retweeted that and said, if I had a dream come true right now, it would be that one. Literally, there's nothing more. I've never mentioned in this window when we talk strikers, because I thought the wage demands, he won't even come to the table. It will dwarf Tonali's. So I just haven't. Would I love it to happen? Oh my God, would I? Would it be one of the biggest statements we've made? Incredibly so. Do I think it's going to happen? No. So I'm not just, that's the thing. I just don't get involved. I'll have the discussion when we're on YouTube or in chats or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go.
When you're ready, Brian, mate, I'm sure you'll be coming back because, you know, you're great to listen to on YouTube. You talk a lot of sense. We love your passion. So when you're ready, mate, you'll come. We will see you and you'll be ready.
Dan, I'll say one thing. This goes to Mark. It goes to you. It goes to every single person in the chat. When we were growing up as kids, before Enoch, before even with Sugar, when I was 1990, I was hitting my teenagers, whatever. Yes, I knew Sugar was the chair. Do you think I knew every single person on the board? And I dedicated every single ounce of my life to look. No, I was interested and excited about players coming in, players going out, what can happen. Just wanting to fully embrace and enjoy the football as a football fan. But for the last 18 years, I've been sidetracked. And it's all been, I want to support Tottenham. I want to be excited by what's going on the pitch or what the club are trying to do. Am I still eating out? Absolutely. Until they prove me wrong over 3, 4, 5 seasons of backing a manager and putting money in. Am I delighted with what they've done in the window so far, as in players in? Yes. Am I delighted with the players we've got out and money? We've actually got decent money in for players. Yes. Do I wish we'd brought the attackers in now? Yes, but I want to enjoy the football and be, okay, let's see what we do. And be that little football fan when I was a kid that used to have tunnel vision that Spurs are the best, Spurs are this, Spurs are that. I want to just enjoy myself. And if they fuck up and if they talk bullshit, I will once again call it out. But I'm not going to go nuts that we've signed Tonali and Fernandez and broke our transfer record twice in 24 hours and bought our first £100 million player. I'm not going to be angry that we paid £52 million for a defender with one season left on his contract, where apparently, according to a certain person, we had our plans pulled down. Where am I going to be pissed off that we sold a defender that hasn't kicked a football for us for 46 million going up? Why am I going to be pissed off?
Yeah.
No, I get it, Brian. I get it. And yeah, mate, honestly, we trying to put it in a way. Look, we've all supported the club a very long time. I think I'm scarred. I am scarred, and I obviously I want to be a positive fan. I do. But I've got to see the club bring some success, and I've got to see them be serious. And yes, this window so far, they've showed some ambition. Finally, you know, it's been a long time, but I want to see trophies. I want to see this club get back to being competitive, you know, winning games, you know, actually being a good side that people don't want to play against, and, you know, competing for things in that where it's higher in the league, trying to win a trophy. Respect. I mean, the last couple of seasons, obviously the Europa win aside, it's been bad. Like 17th place finishing, losing every week. I mean, it's been tough to take, isn't it? Really tough. And I'm like, it's about football for me is about rivalry. It's all about that, isn't it? And we've had so much shit over the years as Spurs fans, from Chelsea fans, Arsenal fans, West Ham fans, whatever fan loves to have a go at Spurs, right? A lot of clubs have got it in for Spurs. I don't know why, but they do. And it's just the years and years of Spurs getting so close, but then losing it in the last minute. Lack of mentality, Spursy tag, shocking decisions by Levy and Enoch in the transfer windows, hiring fights. Look, I could go on and on. I don't want to go into a rant. So what it is, I am scarred, and I'm become very, very critical and until I see this club bring some success, you know, doing all they can to make Spurs as competitive as possible, then yeah, I'm taking this stance, Brian, and whoever else watching. Yep. This is my thing. I would do that. That's my style. And you know, and it's good. This is what it is. If Spurs do well, yeah. If Spurs sign a couple of good attackers, I'll praise it. I've praised the transfer window, some of the signings we've made. If we start playing good football and getting wins, and De Zerbi does well, and this player does well, I will praise it. I will praise Spurs playing well and winning games of football. But again, if there's things I don't like, and we all do this as fans, we will criticise a performance. We'll criticise certain things or a signing that we're not happy with. This is just what we do. But big up, Brian, man. I appreciate you coming on. And Cookie, thank you as well. You ready yet? You had your toast?
Yeah, I'm done, man.
And toast. You're ready?
Yeah, I'm done.
Big up, Cookie.
I've got a little bit of order with this show where I want it to go, and I want your both input and everyone in the chat as well. Big up to everyone in the chat. If you could smash the like, thank you so much. I want to get the guys' links up in the chat in a minute as well. Subscribe to us all if you can. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed to me, subscribe to me as well. Thank you very much. So where I want to start with this one, there's a little bit of a running order with this, where I want to take it today. So first part I want to talk about is the, I would say, this pre-season, right? You know, I want your guys' thoughts on the pre-season. You know, there's been different lineups every game, which is, you know, there's no surprise there. Lots of academy players playing. Obviously, the World Cup players are not going to be coming back maybe for another week or two. We've got injured players not involved. And, you know, we have no idea what, you know, De Zerbi's strongest lineup's going to look like. Obviously, in our heads, you know, we'll have it what we think will be the strongest lineup. But we haven't seen it on the pitch. We hope to see it in the next couple of pre-season games. But look, what have we actually learned from this pre-season so far, guys? If anything, let's go to Brian first, because, you know, I haven't heard Brian speak, and then we'll go Cookie.
Mate, we lack creativity. We lack goal scorers. Obviously, we can't say anything about our defence. They've been at the World Cup and haven't played. And you know what? I'm delighted that I'm not happy that Van de Ven travelled not to get minutes, but look at that pitch in the last game. We know it with his injuries. I'm happy some of the players didn't get minutes, because like we rested Fernandes because he had a, whatever they said, sore calf or achy. Fine. Other seasons we would have played him and he would have picked up an injury like Maddison and be out for the season. We'll learn a lot now. Obviously, Chelsea, he went a lot more first team ready and the intensity was up. Obviously, the game on Saturday, there'll be a lot more first teamers in, and again the intensity. But for me, literally, the tour has just highlighted the weakness we have up top. Maddison injured or not playing, whatever you want to call it. I'm a fan that don't agree with him being captain. I wish it was Porro. I love Porro. Maddison, we need a captain that's going to be on the pitch regularly. Maddison doesn't do that. Just, we all know that. So yeah, the main thing from pre-season was the lack of creativity in goals.
And we all knew that, didn't we?
Yeah.
We all knew this, right? So we're no surprise. Plus, he hasn't got Kudos. Maddison hasn't played.
Xavi.
This is it, isn't it? It's just staring us in the face. So we're not surprised there. Brian, are you just a little bit worried about Maddison? Because I know we got Xavi at the club still, and he's not going to be coming back maybe December or next season. I know how many number 10s can we have in the club? You know, people say Kulu can play there as well. Kudos can play there as well. I mean, there's even talk that Donnelly might get involved. I mean, I'm just really worried with the creativity. We need a striker, of course. We need a top creator, I think, added to what we have. If that's a winger, if that's another number 10, if that's a forward that can play across the forward line in multiple positions, as long as they're a top player, can come in and make the difference, I think we're desperate for it.
Yeah, I mean, look at it. Number 10 is an issue. Like I said, Xavi, yes, Kulu, yes, Kudus, they've been injured. Kulu for over a year. Kudus since what, February, January? and we're expecting him to come in and straight away set the world alight. At the moment, Kudus is our only right winger. If you bring in Cody Gakpo, then the good thing with Savinho, if Savinho was to come in, if he was to play, is he can play on the right wing. So then you've got a right winger to cover Kudus. You've got Gakpo, and you can tell at the moment, because that's what we got. I'm not saying he should be, but then there's 2 and 2. But how many times have Spurs been in a position where they've said, "Oh, we got." Johan Lang said remember in January, we don't need to go big because our big players are coming back, and look how that worked out. We can't just say these players are coming in or coming back, so everything's sorted. We need another number 10, but for me, the striker is number 1, absolutely number 1. Then the left winger, because as much as people say we need that left winger, what is the point of buying a brilliant left winger or a left winger that will cross when we've got Richarlison and the player that isn't as good as a 3-legged rocking horse in Solanke? What is the point of getting a guy to create everything if there isn't someone to put the ball in the back of the net? So for me, the striker, the left winger, a right winger, and possibly we need a 10. Look, at the moment, we don't know about Maddison. Like, obviously, he hasn't played for a long time. Yes, we need backup. Do I think Donnelly's the man to cover it? No. Xavi coming, but striker and left winger, and if we can, a right winger, are the orders of priority for me.
Brian, I agree with you, man. And I just think that it is impossible to change the whole squad in one window, isn't it? Like, we're talking about building a team here, right? And there's a lot of players we still need to shift on. We need backup for certain positions. I don't expect the club to get backups for every position. I don't. I've got to be honest. We ain't even got the first team ready yet. We've got to get the first team ready, and then we look to improve in the next windows. But let's go to Cookie here. Cookie, what have you learned from pre-season, mate?
That they haven't really learnt the lessons of previous windows. A lot of people will say, well, why didn't they do it the other way round, front to back? Right? Because we knew that the forwards were of high priority, let's say. Like I said on this morning's show, what's the point of going to spend the best part of 200 quid on 2 top midfielders and you're not going to give anyone to them to supply, to put the ball in the back of the net? Now, I understand, and I know I might sound like I'm repeating myself, but I understand, again, like you've just said, like you both said, that you can't do everything in one window. I get that, right? And I do get it. Trust me, I do get it. My way of looking at it is 6 in, basically, in the first 3 or 4 weeks, and then we've got 2 weeks of nothing. And it bothers me because there are so many holes in this squad, right, that I think they could have been doing some business. Now, at the same time, we've got 41 players available as it stands now for 25 spots, right? There are so many players that have got, if we are totally changing the mentality of this club and we're moving on, whether it be step by step, that have got to go. And we can talk about we need attackers, we need wingers. Yeah, we do. Yeah, but we also need some of the shit out of this club that's been hanging on to coattails, for years. Right? So it can't just be one bod getting people in and one bod getting people out. Surely there's more than one person dealing with it all, whoever that might be. We know that Rafi the man deals with the negotiations and all that. Who's highlighting these players? Who's highlighting them? We're going for Premier League proven only at the moment. Who's highlighting them? Who's saying, I want Tonali, great player? Who's saying, I want Fernandes? Is that Lang because he's a youngster? I'd like to know, because to me, there's still no plan. We're buying, at least, hopefully, this manager will stay. So the players that are coming in, hopefully, he's the one that said, on the majority of them anyway, yes, I do want that player. And then we just have to see what happens, Dan. The forward line's a shambles, mate.
Yeah.
It don't matter what way you look at it. We can all sit here and say, yeah, we need 2, maybe 3, right? To address that forward line, right, we need 5. We need 5 unless we're getting someone along, like a Gakpo that you said, that can play in multiple positions. You know, and it's and what bothers me is the further we go down the road, we know the more. Well, number one, the more expensive it's going to get, right? The closer it gets to the window, and number two, the people that we would like to be signing will not be available because their clubs are not going to let them go. Because you know what the route is going to be? We need a replacement. We're going to end up going down that route, waiting and waiting and waiting again. And I just like, to me, they've come out, they've said, we've got the money. Yeah. My doubt is, have they got the people to source the right players and get the deals over the line? Right. So we'll see. We'll see, man. See what happens.
I will add just a couple of things. One thing I want to add to you, Mark, Cookie, but I'm going to just first of all say, Alistair Gold has come out and said we're not going for Nicholas Jackson. So taking that what you will. Like I said, Ornstein didn't say it, so it's all bullshit anyway. Let's just get moss to a flame, Spurs fans on Twitter. They hear one thing. Like, do you remember, mate, with Fernandes, one person with a very small account said Fernandes has done his ACL. The next thing you know, the whole Spurs, it's fucking nonsense. But I want to go on what you said, Cookie, and it's really important about what you said about the players, about the amount we've got. Not just about that, but all of the fans that thought all of our players are really, really good and brilliant, and we're using them wrong, and they're going to go on to be great players for the future, and they're going to be. Why is no one buying them? Why is there no interest in any of these so-called give them a chance in the right shape? They'll do well. Romero, world class. Everyone's going to want him. Everyone's going to want a piece of him. Oh yeah. Not really. Vuskovic, everyone when it was on loan, all these big clubs want him on loan. Spurs say no. If you want to buy him, you got to pay the money. Brighton. No one else. Brighton. We got like because of what's gone on in the past, we've got so much crap and stockpiled so much shit. And said, one's for the future, or don't worry, they're going to be good, they're going to be this. Well, if they're all this, why aren't people buying them? Why aren't we able to trim our squad to be able to facilitate going out to buy players?
They can't shift them, Brian. That's the problem, isn't it? Right. Likes of Sarr, been around, not really improved since being at the club. I mean, he was even Bergvall was going out the door the other week. Looks like he might be staying now. We can't shift Solanke or Richarlison. Who else is there that we can shift out of this squad? We got rid of Radu. Vicario will be going, won't he, soon, I hope.
Well, again, all the top clubs in Italy wanted him. Juventus, Inter.
Yeah.
Where are they?
Solomon. Will Solomon go?
Solomon will go, yeah.
And that's all profit as well, isn't it?
Yeah, guys, it's not easy, isn't it? And just any final thoughts from this kind of pre-season? Because I can't say I've learned a lot. I mean, it was great beating Chelsea the other day, but it was just... Yeah, it was just beating Chelsea was nice, and that was it. I can't say I learned anything from any of these pre-season games. Has there been any performances that you've enjoyed or watched and thought, maybe they can play a part this season? It's really hard to judge, isn't it, these pre-season games? It's been a mishmash of players, mainly youngsters coming on second half, and I just can't gauge anything. And I am worried that, before the season starts, is the team going to be ready? There's only 3 pre-season friendlies to go. There's no chance in hell that we're going to be kind of, getting that cohesion and hitting the ground running without the forward players. I am expecting a slow start. I really am. And that's not me saying that we can't have a good season, because we might go on and have a good season. This might be a season where we grow into. Maybe November time, December time, things might start falling into place. But there's no way we're going to hit the season running with 3 pre-season games left. We probably won't even play our strongest teams in those. Maybe one of them, the home game against Hoffenheim and at the stadium. So I just think that, I mean, the expectation is high next year. But yeah, so much work to do, guys. Honestly, so much work to go do. What I wanted to talk about next, guys, I want to move this along, and we have mentioned it already. If we do look at the biggest concern is the goals, isn't it? You know, last season's attack remains largely unchanged. We got Solanke, Richarlison, Tell, Kudov, Kulusevski, Maddison. We got Wilson who's injured. Xavi's injured as well. There's not a lot of goals in that. You know, obviously, as a collective, some of those players chipping in with goals can help. But really, we need a consistent goal scorer and a consistent creator. Now, Maddison, you know, I really like Maddison. I mean, when he's played for Spurs, he scores, he's assists, but he's injured half the time. That's the problem with him. So we've only kind of got like a half player in Maddison who can only perform half of the season, sometimes less. We hope a bit more, but we really don't know after that serious injury. Then we've got like someone like Kulusevski, who's been out for so long. People say he's lost his pace. He never was fast anyway. Can he offer us anything? Who knows? Richarlison may get 10 goals, 11 goals. Solanke had a terrible season last year, but he was injured. Could he chip in? Tell doesn't score many goals. Kudos doesn't score many goals. So it's a massive, massive worry, really, going into the season with that current forward line. Guys, just initial thoughts on that one. Anything you want to add to it?
Go on, Cookie. You go first.
I know you kind of said it, Cookie, already about, you know, but when you see it on paper, that's what it is.
Listen, again, I can go on about the transfer window and say, well, we need to get right? It's up to the club to do that at the end of the day. Now, again, we've got 6 in. Yeah, we haven't dealt with the attacking problems as yet. Like I say, 2 or 3 might well come in. Who knows? And people will be happy with that. I'm not saying I'm not happy with it, but what I'm saying is that if you do get injuries again, yeah, and at the moment we've got, like Brian and Dan said, no number 10. At the moment, there's no creativity again as such in the team. I know we've got Tonali in and Fernandez, yeah, but in the number 10 position, we haven't got it at the moment. And it's just a big concern to me that even if we go and do get 2 or 3, yeah, and even with 1 game a week, that the drop-off again is huge. Do you know what I mean? And I just worry about I just worry about where are the goals coming from? Where are we going to go and score 60, 70 goals next season? You know, as it stands right now. And, you know, again, Enoch come out with all the bollocks, right? And to me, a lot of it is bollocks because 400 million quid and all that business, they might have spent 220, 30 million, whatever it is. They've raked back in 120 already, which is all good. I haven't got a problem with them getting money back in. We all moan about that we don't get money back in. So at least they've got some money back in so far. But there's still another 200 million quid's worth that's got to go. Right? So does that mean we're going to spend 700 million then? No, it don't. Of course it don't. Right? Again, as long as the players that come and improve on what's going out or what's leaving, who are we to moan? Because they might be doing it in steps. They might be going straight for the big boys. I don't think any of us know at the moment. 1 minute it's Ferran Torres, the next minute it's Osherman, the next minute it's Gatpo. Is Savinio still coming? What about Joe Bloggs down the road who's got 3 kids and he's spare on a Wednesday night up R7? Do you know what I mean? It's like, you know, but everyone looks at things differently. I just panic because, like Brian's seen, like you've seen in the past.
You're scarred, Cookie, mate.
Yeah, man, I'm very sceptical. Very, very sceptical, man. I am of it. And you know what? If they do go and spend the money and do what they're going to do and get in who they're going to get in, whoever that may be, fair play. I can't complain about it. Do you know what I mean? But I just
Cookie,
think we could be doing so much more while these weeks are going on and nothing's happening.
Cookie, we can be optimistic, right? And when we're being critical on lives, doesn't mean we're not looking forward to the season or think that we can't have a good season. We're not. We've got that in our minds, but we focus on the business, isn't it? What needs to be done to make this Tottenham side ready for the season and give them the best possible chance to push for Europe, make some progress next season. And this is what we do, obviously. And if the club come out and make a couple of good signings, we'll be praising it. We will be praising it, and we'll be looking forward to the season. But, you know, we will be doing business as usual. Brian, fair enough, mate. What do you reckon, mate?
Yeah,
this is what it is, isn't it?
Well, it's what it is. Like, you look at it, if not saying this is going to happen or will happen or whatever, if I was to say to you, Spurs are getting Mamouche, but it's going to be after the first game or 2 games of the season and nearer the deadline, are you prepared to wait? For a player like Mamouche, if I knew he was coming and it'd be after the Brentford game, I'd fucking take it all day long.
Of course we would.
If it was a Noosa or a player I would love at this football club is Ndiaye from Everton, I'd absolutely love that man. If we got told he was coming, but after the Brentford game, I'd take it. I'll do it before deadline day. Got to remember, we signed Van der Ven day before Brentford. And he didn't turn out too bad on his first season. Yes, I would love them all in. Big up, Simon, brother. We'd love them all in before the start of the window. And like Cookie was just saying about, is it Torres? Is it this one? Is it this one? Is it this one? Because moths to a flame. It just, the rumour mill, like I said, if you were to type in, not Slovenia, let's use that. If you type in Gapco or what, and see how many times Romano has tweeted about him, it's probably over 60 times. And there's nothing. And then everyone goes into a... When I saw on Twitter, this is just on Twitter, when we had it broke that it could be Gapco, loads and loads and loads and loads of Spurs fans, and they have their right to it. No, he's shit. It's not a bomber. He's not good enough. He's not this. He's not that. Then when it heard that the deal had broken down, the same fans that I was watching saying, oh, my God, he's shit. Oh, my God, we can't even get Gapco. We can't even buy him. Oh, my God, why can't we get him? But 3 hours ago, you were saying we don't want him. But now Liverpool said apparently he's not for sale. Now the fans are like, oh, my God. It's whipping Spurs fans into... And I'm just saying it as a Spurs fan. I'm sure this happens with other teams, with Romano and all the other ITKs for their team. I'm just not listening to it. I'm just not listening to it. Do I? I think we'll have a top draw striker in and a left winger in before the window close. Would I want it before Brentford? Absolutely.
But Brian, you know you will get fans disagreeing, won't you, on that player? You will. And do you know what? And I think, you know, okay, well, this is what De Zerbi wants. He's got a target. He's got his targets in mind. It's up to him, isn't it, to make it work? And we have to just go with it. We cannot be happy about that particular signing. Say it's a Gakpo or a Savinho, whatever. It's just De Zerbi's got to make it work, isn't it? You know, he's decided. So what can we do is other than get behind the team and hope it works, isn't it? And hope we have a very successful season. Because the last 2 seasons have been hard, really, really hard, haven't they? So, fair points, Brian. I totally get that. Let's go to the chat and, getting a bit of shit here from Suits measured after to you.
Just one thing, Ozzy Cloister said something.
Yeah.
You also remember when we signed a certain Rafa Van der Ven on deadline day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He kind of settled in rather well, didn't he? Don't get me wrong, we've done so many players on deadline day that have been absolutely fucking shit. But what I'm trying to get at is if we could get quality like a Marmouche in, but it has to be rather than a Gatco or whatever you think. If someone said to you right here, right now, ask you two right here, right now, if I said to you, Marmouche is signing for Tottenham, but it will be after the Brentford game, before our second game of the season, right here, right now, if it was a guarantee that was happening, would you take it?
Yes.
Of course you would. Marmouche, I like him. I think
and more than anything, Brian, because they've told me.
The thing
I know.
Let me let me go to this guy in the chat. Look, I sound dead. I'm sound dead. Look, honestly, I don't know if you've ever watched me before, but this is what I'm like. I don't know what else to say. Go and watch my video of when we won the Europa League final.
There you go.
Go and watch that
one.
and see the passion when we won that final. That's it. And that's what I want to see at Spurs regularly. I want us making finals, winning things. But under Poch, we were a very, very competitive team under Pochettino. We won so many games, played some good football. Yes, we didn't get over the line, but we were a tough team to beat. That was good times. Yes, we didn't get over the line, and the club didn't go out and push the boat out just to get us those titles and whatever. But we can get back there. We can get back there. If De Zerbi is back properly, recruitment is better, and it improves, and it keeps improving over a period of time, and we can get back to competing at the top. We've done it under ENIC before, so we can do it again. De Zerbi, I really like De Zerbi. I like his passion. I think he's a good manager. Does he have a lot to prove still? Of course he does. He's got a lot to prove. He's never been in this position before. We're having a kind of a war chest to spend, and the pressure that comes with, isn't it? With spending a lot of money, getting his targets. Of course, he's going to be under pressure, but he looks like a guy who's up for the challenge. And we all go back to the end of the season when he stood there looking at the South Stand, taking it all in, keeping Spurs up in the league, and he's up for it. He's ready for it. And I wish him all the success at Spurs to go and deliver that success for Spurs and keep us fans happy and get us back competing again. And we all hope that's all what we want. So yeah, that's just my little rant back to Soup Measured there. Afternoon to you. Let's go to the chat. Any comments? Let's get the chat involved before we move forward. Let's have a little look here. Let's go right down to the bottom here and get some. Let's have a little look. Scott, we got Philly in the chat. How you doing, Philly, mate? How are you, man? I know you're staying clear of this transfer window. You'll be back when the season starts. You find the transfer window a big strain as well. There's lots of people like that, mate. I don't blame you. One question is De Zerbi just asking question. Maybe having an opinion is beyond some people. Is he maybe going back to someone in the chat there? Sorry if I've misread that one. Scott says, I remember last season we signed Simmons. 3 games into the season. He took until January to adjust. That's it. Another thing. But the thing is with this time, isn't it? All the players that we have I've brought are proven. So we shouldn't have that with these. But anybody coming from outside the UK, from Europe, maybe there will be a little bit of an adjustment. Who knows? It really depends. Got Tom in the chat. Big up to Tom. Hope you're good. Who else is that? Stel's in the chat. Hello, Stel. How you doing, buddy? Cracking show last night. Valovic is a waste of money. He cannot press. Yeah, let's Valovic, man. Look, I mean, he's not the play for Spurs. He's not the play. He's not the profile, and he's been available all summer. Isn't he a free transfer, right? Yeah. If he was the guy they wanted, he would have been in already. Let's go out to the chat. Got Aussie, Ange in the chat. Big up to you. Sheriff's in the chat. Big up to Sheriff as well.
Big up, boss.
Let's have a little look there. We've seen that Alistair goes to squash the rumours. Afternoon to Tony. Why can't we ever get it right on the fly? There's always one part of the team that takes ages to fix. Well, this is it, isn't it? Are we going to have the perfect transfer window? Well, if those 2 attackers coming in, that'll probably be the best we've had since I can remember supporting the club. Really do. If we do get those 2 attackers in, that is, but we have to get them in, and we will see. Philly's talking about Gakpo, for example, could be dependent on Barcola. Gakpo, guys, I mean, there's mixed on this guy. Gakpo, where do you boys stand on Gakpo?
I'd have Gakpo in because he's better than what we've got, number 1. Number 2, he's a player that can play multiple positions across the attacking sphere of our forward line. Listen, is he the answer? Is he going to shoot us to top 6 or top 4 or wherever you feel that the club should be? Probably not. Is he going to be available most weeks? Probably. Yeah, he's going to be available most weeks. Will he score goals for us? Yeah, I'm sure he'll score a few goals, create a few goals, whatever. Again, I'll go back to, is he better than what we've got? Yeah, because we've got no number 10 at the moment. We've got a young lad in a left winger. and we've got a right winger that's not fit. So, yeah, he is better than what we've got. Am I bothered about how much we pay for him? No, not really. I'm not. Just get better players in. And even if they're not of that level and they're sort of there, it's better than off the screen down there, isn't it? You know what I mean? So, yes, but yes to Gakpo, yes.
Yes, to Gakpo. I just want to get this before I go to Brian here. Got 10 joules in the chat, gold coin. Giant, is that Giant 68? Thank you very much for your jewels. I appreciate it.
This just shows how far I've been off YouTube before I talk about Gakpo. What the hell are jewels?
It's something that YouTube are doing, Brian. I've got no idea. It just comes up on the thing, redeem your jewels. It came up on mine the other day. You've got 700 and whatever jewels.
Yeah, I went into something and it said, do you want to share your jewels? I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I keep seeing it. But yeah, let's get back to Cody Gakpo. I can say it now. That name. Right. If I had a list of 15 players, would he be on it? No. Well, no, but that's not because that's why the reason I say that is because I just didn't even think it was possible. I didn't even think like
okay. I thought
but I'd rather a Noosa. I'd rather, like I said, there's certain players he just didn't even enter my equation. And then you look at it, are we going to play him on the left? Are we going to play him in the center? Like Cookie said, he can play. So's trolling accounts, but what I was going to say is it looks like we want people that can play multiple positions, whether we agree, whether we don't. He's someone that can play as a striker and a left winger. So also what I don't like about him is, or not I don't like about him, he is either very, very hot and cold at Liverpool and very, very one of the things, and I've heard loads of Liverpool fans say it, he's been found out. He likes to cut in and shoot, and he's been found out. So then you see him in the World Cup for Holland, and he's ruthless and scoring goals. He's like, that guy I'd have. But Liverpool, he goes hot and cold. Then I was like, wait a minute. If he came to Tottenham, and this is just my train of thought, if he came to Tottenham, it's not going to be like Liverpool where he's playing behind a Salah, behind who it was, the rest in peace Jota, the Firminos, the whatevers. He'll go there as one of Tottenham's key men, or not key men, main starters, and be looked at as one of the main men for goals and whatever. So still, I'm really, really hot and cold. But then there was a good friend of mine tweeted this by the name of Darren Yarler, and I'm just going to break it down. He broke it down this way. He's a 27-year-old player who's had 4 seasons and over 120 Premier League appearances, winning the league. In that season, he featured 35 times in that season. He scored 32 goals and got 16 assists, having only started 89 of that 120. So you start looking at those numbers and it puts a different spin on it. Rather than going, oh, he's crap, he's this, he's that. When you hear it like that, at Liverpool, he was behind the strikers they had. And obviously he was never the man. He was second fiddle, blah, 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 blah. But then if he comes to Spurs, could he revel in being one of the main men, the focal point of or driving force of a team? Could he be better in a De Zerbi team than obviously he was last season with Arne Slot and the last couple of seasons with Arne Slot? So I'm still so hot and cold on this. But like the most important thing that Cookie said, and I agree with wholeheartedly, is he comes in and obviously he improves our team as a player. He improves our team. Let's not forget we've got a very, very low bar with our forwards at the moment. He does improve it. If you had him, let's just say him on the left, Savinho we got finally on the right, and we found the right striker, could that front three be effective? Maybe. But right now, if you said to me, a Noosa, or we get an Ndiaye on the right and a Savinho on the left, I'd go with those options personally. But that's my personal preference. I don't know how I feel about Gakpo, but if you gave me Gakpo or Jackson, it's not even a debate. I think he could do something, but I think there's better.
Yeah.
Look, Gakpo is nowhere near close. Liverpool will consider it. I've heard that if there's a right offer, what's competitive with the market rate, that deal doesn't look anywhere near it. So I don't think that there is a secret signing, isn't there? We hear this mystery, this De Zerbi's saying about a bomber. I'll tell you about clickbait, right? De Zerbi. Getting the fans thinking, right? Telling us that something is coming, a big signing. And I read something today, and it's, I don't know, Alistair Gold, he's talking about it as well, about this
I
bomber.
think that was more of one of them to Enoch, Dad. Pull your finger out.
Well, if it is, fair play. If it is fair
Honestly,
play, to put the pressure on in that way, that's a good way of looking at it,
clever.
isn't it?
Very clever.
Putting the pressure on Enoch to deliver a top forward player. We need it. And if we're being serious here, go and get the best striker available or possible. We'll just get them, put the money down and get them. An Osherman, someone who's going to guarantee goals, and a creator as well has got guaranteed assists and goals as well. Go and do it. If you're going to show ambition, might as well go and do it. Don't go for second best.
Well,
With
also, we're talking about, sorry, just very quick, we're talking about the forward line. My brother Tom Kingman, big up to you, I haven't spoken to you for a while, is like me, and we all know who my crown jewel is. We're talking about number 10, we're talking about needing goals. Go put the money down for Morgan Gibbs-White. There's 15 goals last season plus assists.
Chuck Bergville in a deal.
Mate.
And he's homegrown. And he's homegrown.
In a heartbeat. We're talking about number 10s and lack of them. I want someone to come in. That man offers you goals. That man offers you energy. That man offers you creativity. That man offers you tenacity. That man ticks so many boxes. Can play in the 8 if need be.
Yep.
Can play further forward. We're talking about needing goals.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's the bomber. Hopefully he is the bloody bomber.
When I say, Brian, like I did earlier about the squad overall, and I know Bergville was a sub first team player. He's in the first team squad anyway, right? Mm-hmm. But that to me, when you see if that transfer would happen, right, that to me is what I call improving not only the first team, but that improves the squad. Mm-hmm. To me, it does anyway.
100%.
You know, and that's the sort of deals we should be, and players that we should be looking at, people that are going to affect our season.
That's ambition, isn't it, Cookie? Ambition, isn't it? Yeah, real ambition. They started it with Tonali, Fernandes, all that money, Van Heck, you know. But keep going. I've got a super chat I've got to read out. Cheers, Tony, mate. I hope you're good. Thank you very much. He says, pay 65 million for Osherman, give him 40 million signing bonus, whack him on 300k a week with 1 million goal bonus every 10 goal. There you go.
Why not?
You go, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, Osherman, he's going to get goals, isn't he? He's that level of forward that he played against us, didn't he? Do you remember?
Yeah.
What was it? Was it Champions League, Europa League, guys?
Champions
League.
It was the Champions League, wasn't it? When they had about 33 chances on our goal or something that night.
No, it's Europa. It's Europa League under Ange.
Europa was,
yeah, and they tore us a new one, didn't they, when we went to... he looked quality. I like Osherman. I think if we're serious, that's the sort of forward we should be going for, at least trying to get him. I mean, wages shouldn't be a problem. The fee's not a problem. 65 is pretty low, right? Compared to some of the prices. Well, I don't know. Maybe he is the bomber, or whatever you want to call it. But good comment, Tony, man. Cheers for the super chat. Much appreciated. Look, I think we kind of covered the forwards. We could talk about it till we're blue in the face. Let's see what else I wanted to bring up on the show today. What other agenda I had, and we spoke about the players that we need to get out still, players expecting to leave. Let me get to help us with this conversation, let me get where the squad is looking like now. It might be a little bit off from the other day, but let me there may be a couple of little changes on there, so apologies so far, but I've been doing this over the summer. So let's get the squad up and see where we're at. And I want to hear from you guys. And there's people in the chat have also said certain players that we need to shift out still. So let me get that going now. I'm just going to share the screen. Here we go. Let me just press the slide there. Here we are. Here we go here. So we got the squad here. This is the plan. This is what it's kind of looking like so far. And Brian, I don't know if you've seen this. I have put it up on previous screens. We got the first team. Now we all know who's the keeper for the season, Kingsley. Doggy will probably be starting left back. Don't know either if he's fit. I don't know. Van der Ven, we're probably thinking as a left centre back. Van Heck, Porro, or Spence right back. Tonali Fernandez in those two double pivot players. Then you've got Maddison, we hope, is going to be ready. We do need another number 10 I've put next to him. I think Kudos, hopefully he'll be ready. If not, don't know who's going to start on the right wing. And then there's those two glaring players that we need, left wing and centre forward. And then when I look at the squad, Dubravka's number, this is the cover for the keeper. Danzo is not going anywhere. Senesi cover as left centre back. Then we have Robertson, Sousa. There's been talk that Sousa could be out the club as well, guys. I heard something the other day. I think it's a Portuguese side in for him. Porto, yeah, that's it. Cheers, Brian. Then we have obviously cover of right back with Spence. And obviously, De Zerbi has made it clear to players like Spence. And there was another player as well who's saying, I think it's Bergwall as well. I'm happy for you to stay, but if you want to leave, that's your choice. You can go. It's up to you. Bentancur, I think, will be cover in central midfield. And I think we need another central midfielder unless Gallagher's going to drop back. Gallagher's supposed to be more of an attacking midfielder than a number 8. Xavi will be coming back at some point. We need cover at right wing. Left wing, I think we're just going to go with Tell, Wilson. Moore's going, we've heard as well. Williams Barnett, is he going to be included in the first team? I don't know. And then you've got cover as centre back. West Lancashire's gone now, so that's what I mean with an update. He's gone. Solanke, Davis will be a cover at the back. And these players on the right hand side, sell loan, is that Romero, Vicario expect to go. Taaki will probably get a loan. Sarr, is he going to go? Gray, I think, is going to stay now. It sounds like the way De Zerbi's talking about him, he gave him the captaincy. I mean, I know a lot of fans are not happy about that. Bergvall, was he going to stay? Is he going to go? Kulusevski? I don't know. I have put him on that list because I think it's time's up for him. But, I don't think he's going anywhere. Tell, I put him on that list. This was at the beginning of the season, but it looks like he's in De Zerbi's plans because he's been playing every pre-season friendly, and that's all we've got. We've got nothing else on the left, and Solomon should be on there as well, but I expect him to go on. And then they've got Richarlison. Guys, is that about right with you guys? What do you reckon? Anything you want to add, change? If you don't agree with me, I don't know. Fire away, lads.
Could you send Stel the link, Dan? Please.
Yeah, of course. Let me send him the link.
I thought I just got WhatsApp.
Sorry, Stel. I've just not on top of the chat, mate.
I don't like these circle things because it makes my head look big. It's bang out of order, Look,
Sorry,
I've got a bowling ball on my head.
Let me get rid of it. I'll get rid of it in a sec, buddy. I'll get rid of it.
Okay, boy. I've got my list here of the ones to go.
There you go, mate. It's gone.
Oh.
Let me get Stel on.
Thanks, you okay?
Yeah, Brian, Cookie, anything you want to add to the that list there, Brian? Anything that you think, okay, well, I think he should go as well, or we should give him another season? Where you are with Gray, Brian, players like that?
I'm a fan of Gray's. I don't want him going anywhere. I don't want him going absolutely anywhere. I think under Tonali, Bentancur, the position for places and the competition there, or I would take him off the sell list instantly. Or loan. I would not let him go. I think he is going to become a player. I really do. But that's just my personal preference. Other people disagree. Other people agree. But I think he will turn good. Everyone else on that sell list, I agree with. Everyone.
Even Tell?
100. Oh no! Wait a minute. So Tell, look. With Matisse Tell, Do I think he could improve? Yes. Do I think if we get him out, we fuck left winger. We get the left wingers in. If you bring 2 left wingers, I've got no problem with him going, none whatsoever.
Yeah.
But I'm doing this from where we are as a squad right now. We're going on that we haven't got any wingers, and then what we're going to do is potentially sell one of our wingers. That's just from the squad's perspective. If we could get 2 left wingers in, would I sell Tell? Yes. Do I think we'll get 2 left wingers in? No. Where we got Lancashire, I would have liked to have kept, but he's gone. There's nothing more we can do about that. Wilson, Odebear, I'd put on for sale immediately. Oh, mate.
Another thing, Brian, I want to add to this list because some people might not have.
How have you got Porro as squad and not first team?
Well, I put him on.
Sorry, you have. My bad.
Yeah, it's not perfect. I'm not. This is just my own thing. I've done.
I just thought you'd only put one in one place. I was like, Porro squad, behave.
What and another thing as well. It doesn't mean I put squad places for Solanke on there. And it's not because I want to keep him. It's just that I don't think the club are going to sell him, and nobody wants to buy him after the season he's had. So we've got to stick with him for now.
Yeah, I think possibly. I mean, like I was just saying with Gray, he could learn under Bentancur. I don't know if Bentancur's future is at Spurs. Asking for a week extra, obviously not going on tour because of it. Who knows with what we're trying to do? But you look at the main thing you take from that is when we're saying about bringing players in, you just see how bloated our squad is from the stockpiling of crap we've done over the previous years. And can't get them out. So we shall see what happens. But like I said, the main thing on that list is I'm taking Archie Gray straight off the sale list, and he's in the squad, and I think he'll develop. It's a big season for him this season. He either develops and becomes a better player, like a player that you can say, okay, he's pushing the first team or whatever. Or Spurs have a decision to make. But I think if he does have the season I think he's capable of, there'll be a lot of people that will be surprised with Archie Gray.
I think he's going to end up being a Tottenham utility player.
You reckon?
I think he will be, Brian. I think he'll be one of them players that we just keep hold of because he's already proved that if you need him at left back, he can play there. If you need him at centre half, he can play there. Yeah, if you do need him in midfield, he can play there. So I don't know how he's going to define let's say, a number 8 position at Spurs, because they've gone straight out and gone already over the top with Fernandes and Tonali. I'm not saying Archie Gray's a terrible player, by the way, Brian.
I didn't say you were.
And I'm not. And I don't want you to think I am, though.
I've never thought that.
I just think, again, they've gone from that youth policy. They've probably had a look and thought, well, Gray's had a chance, but he has been knocking about in different positions under different managers. Bergval's had his chance. Perhaps he's not for us. Let's get rid and make some money while we can. Yeah. It's difficult to gauge. I just think that's how Archie Gray will turn out. I just find it hard to see how he's going to say, yeah, I want to play number 8, and he's got all these senior players, if you like, that have come in over the top and in front of him again.
But that can drive him. For once, do you know what? For once, you look at the defenders we've got now.
Yeah.
Danso, who obviously had a mare against Chelsea, but then you look at Senesi, Van Hecker, Van de Ven, Danso. There is genuine competition. Big up, Stel. I haven't seen you for ages, brother.
Big up, Stel.
There is genuine competition for places there. And like Stel mentioned, and we didn't get to speak about it with the youngsters, Hardy has looked very, very impressive. I also love the look of Rio, the left winger. Not saying he's first team ready at all, but he looks
looking
like
decent.
He did. In a few years, he looked like, obviously, he's around the youth team, but there is genuine competition for that centre. We could go into a game, any game this season, where whatever centre backs we choose, I'd be like, okay. Not like when we lost Toby or Jan, and it was Davinson Sanchez, Clement Longap, Kevin Wimmer. There is genuine competition for places there. genuine, which is going to keep them all motivated, going to want them to train hard. They're not going to sit there and go, "Oh, do you know what? I've had a really bad game, but I guarantee I'll play the next game. Doesn't matter how bad I play or whatever, I'm going to play." There's genuine competition. So Fernandes and Tonali, Bentancur, Gallagher, whatever in midfield.
Yeah.
If that's not going to try and make Archie Gray or the standard that he's training with be higher and make him want to push harder, and regardless what people say about him or think of him as a player, every single manager has said in training he's a dream. He just wants to learn. He's so whether he gets there, I don't know. But there's going to be better competition in midfield to push him, and it's his job now to do it.
Guys, I just want to do a bit of homework here. Please smash the like button if you're in the chat. Appreciate you all. Thank you so much for your comments. I'm going to go to the chat in a minute as well. Big up. Please subscribe to my guests as well. I'm going to get Stel's link up shortly. Subscribe to Cookie. Let me get his link up, and to Brian as well. Thank you very much. Let's welcome in Stel. How are you, mate? How you been?
Good.
What's on your mind? What's on your mind, mate?
Good to be with Cookie and Brian and you.
Big up, Stel.
Big up, boys.
Excuse me.
Brian just started talking about the youth, and my blood pressure just kind of riz. it started going up. Yeah. I will say something about the youth and deserve. Do you know, I hate coming across in a certain way because people say you're arrogant. You think, it's not. It was my job for 12 years. That's why I say it. So
You're a coach still.
I did it. I did it. And I was very lucky that my academy was 5 minutes from Tottenham Hotspur's training ground. So naturally, we got invited in there a lot because they bring in all the local teams. And over the years, you get to know the coaches, the recruitment. Brian, I took you with me.
Yep, you did. You did.
I took Brian with me, and we have got a manager that is going to play a way that is exactly in alignment with what the academy has been doing for the last 4 years. So these academy kids, they have been specifically trained to play this football, but we've just never had that manager. And was that to some degree, but he was kamikaze. De Zerbi's not. De Zerbi perfectly suits everything the academy's been doing for years. So when I say things like, forget Danzo, he's technically going to be terrible at this football. This isn't sit back, defend, clear the ball, get it out at all costs. If in doubt, get it out, all that stuff. No, we're not going to do that stuff. So when you see a Malachi Hardy looking good pre-season, it's because this is the way he's been trained to play. He's been trained to play this. Danzo hasn't. That's why when Danzo comes on the pitch and he's got to receive a ball in the back foot, when the striker of the other team's coming to press him, he made a mess of it because he's not trained to receive on the back, turn on the same back foot and then swivel the hips. These are technical things that you're taught in order to have the technique to do certain things. And Malachi has been taught that. I don't think Malachi Hardy's ready. But technically he is compared to Danzo. So what I'm trying to say here is if ever there was a time, to give some of these kids a chance in the team and integrate them so that in 2 years' time they might become starters, it's now. This is it. Because if we don't do it now, if De Zerbi makes us a top 4 team in the next 3 years, none of these kids are going to be able to play for us when we're top 4 because we're just going to want the best of the best to come in at the club at that point. Now's the time to do it. So, I just wanted to say that because Brian was mentioning the youth, and I just wanted to double down on that because the youth get a lot of criticism. But mate, you saw pre-season, Kai Martin has flourished. Williams Barnett's
what position does he play, Stel? What is he an actual? He's not a left back, is he? Kai Martin.
He's a midfielder. Midfielder. But the fact that he's gone into that role is because, just like Harry Kane, the academy kids are coached from the ages of 10 to 14. When did they go to 9 side? 11 to 14 to play 3 positions. Academy kids are taught to play 3 positions. And then when they get to 16, they make them a master of 1. So Kane would have played as a 10, as a right winger, as a number 9. And then when he got to 16, he will tell the club, this is where I feel I'm best. The coaches will say, well, this is where we think you're best. There'll be a compromise. Right, we're going to make you a master of that position. And that's how it works. So if Carl Martin, who's a midfielder, is told to go right back, the reason they've time to do that is because that's one of the positions he was probably coached to play. And the reason they do that is because they want a versatile player, which is the best kind of player you can have. And this is why I say to you guys, the academy kids are perfectly trained for what De Zerbi's going to want to do. It's whether we've got the bollocks to give them a chance and over 2 years maybe develop just 1 or 2, not 100, just 1 or 2 into the next King, the next Kane, the next Hoddle. Who knows? But if we don't do it, then we're going to have to spend big bucks to sign the top players because that's the only other way to do it.
But there's talk, there's 4. Still, there's talk of 4 players potentially could be involved in and around the first team next season. De Zerbi is having a look at them. Guys on the panel, Stel, chat, who could be those 4 players going into next year?
Sorry, Dan, say that again. I was just checking something.
No, it's all right. So there's talk that De Zerbi is considering 4 players from the youth team that could be involved next season. Who are these 4 players possibly? Mikey Moore's going to be going, isn't it? We've seen him going out on loan. I think.
Like
Is it Cologne he's going to? Not Cologne, it's
Cologne or something. It's like
Cologne, Cologne. Yeah. So guys, do you think this is going to be happen? Is 4 too much? Should we just go for 2, 3? I don't know. There's not that many games next season. We've got no Europe. It's going to be tough. It's going to be like bringing them on, isn't it? When we're winning games in the second half, doing well, some cup competitions, maybe in the early rounds, if the opposition's not too tough. There's not going to be loads of games, but maybe just being in and around the first team next season will definitely help them.
Exactly
that. Yeah,
exactly that. It's training with the men.
Yeah,
training with them. I'll tell you who I think the 4 are. Williams Barnett, because he can't go out on loan, and he's actually been a bit of a revelation. Williams Barnett, Kai Martin, Malachi Hardy, and I think Byfield.
Mate,
maybe Oluwesi, maybe, but I'm not sure.
Well, yeah, the one I'll add to that is Jamie Donnelly, who is going to be there. Who's going to be there because obviously the number 10 deficiency. But also with these players, what we've got to do, people that would have seen me on shows or whatever will hear me say this and still will agree. You look at it, for the last few years, we've decided to go with the youth and buy young and ones for the future. And whilst everyone is buying for the future, or whilst we're buying for the future, everyone's buying for the now, and our future never comes. Certain players, let's use Donnelly for an example, or even Luca William Barnett. I don't mind seeing him in a Carabao Cup game to start with, whatever. But what we've done for so long is chucked all these bloody youngsters in at one go and said, off you go, sort out this mess that we've got ourselves in. If people remember, and I'm going to use the most recent one that I can align it to, Dele Alli. Dele Alli came in from League One as a 19-year-old. And when he played and flourished, why did he flourish? Because he had 10 great players around him. So it wasn't okay. If you're having a bad game, you had Wanyama and Dembele behind him. You had Eriksson, Son and Kane around him. You had Rose and what that team was surrounded by quality that said, all right, if you're having a bad game, we'll help you up. We'll coach you through this game. When his temperament was going, they'd calm him down. And he had quality, so it wasn't all eyes on him. And he could do what he could do and go forward and get into these positions because he knew he had a Dembele and Wanyama or a Vertonghen. So if you're going to play a Luca William Barnett or a Jamie Donnelly in a Carabao Cup game, I'm not saying play all the first teamers, but make sure you surround them with
the better first teamers. The better first teamers.
Exactly. That's how you're going to develop them. Don't chuck 4 of them in and go, right, off you go, guys. When you've got crap around them and say, right, go through this game. I think it's going to be Donnelly. I think it's going to be Luca Williams Barnett. Could be Malachi Hardy. And I've been very, very... I'm a massive fan of Ashley Phillips. Massive fan. And I really want him to do well. But after seeing someone like a Malachi Hardy, yes, it's only pre-season, whatever, I'm not so fussed if he goes. Obviously, my heart's been broken because Alfie's gone. My heart is broken. I've got my ring light at half mast still. I'm still mourning I'm doing more my Alfie Devine love. Come on, the Preston. So I think obviously Malachi Hardy could be the one. I think Byfield's a real player as well, but I don't know if he's going to do two defenders. So, and I think Rio is just too young. I think if he's young enough, he's good enough. Blah blah blah. I think next season he could join. But like I did the watch along with Ben for the Milton Keynes MK Dons game because the other games I've been at work, which is 5 a.m. or whatever it was, and I'm at work. My time, 10, whatever it was. And I was very, very impressed with Rio. I was very, very. Go on, bro.
Can I ask you a question? Rio Kai Martin?
Yeah. I keep saying his surname, I just call him Moran. So I just go Rio. Rio's easier.
Can I ask you a question? Yeah. Do you think they might give him a chance only because we're selling Sousa, apparently?
Oh, is he 21, Ronnie? I didn't know he was that. I thought he was younger.
Udogi's always injured. So really, we've only got one left back at the moment available, Robertson, who looks a bit shabby defensively. Do you think they might just give him a go on the basis that there's no one else really available?
Can I just add to that? I didn't till my man Ronnie said he's 21. I literally thought he was 17 or 18. So that changed. I didn't know he was 21. So now if it is to be him, I think I really like what. Yes, it's pre-season. Everyone will go. Yes, it's only friendlies. Yes, it's what. But what he was doing, he didn't look flustered on the ball. The players were giving him the ball. The runs he was making down that line, his positioning. I think there is a player there. But obviously, I don't want to go. Oh my God, we've got like Spurs do when we sold Bow and Andros Townsend was the next Bow. And what we do with all these players, I'm not going to say, oh my God, he's that left back that we've been waiting for since Rose, or not saying that. But what I saw from him, he was the highlight, apart from the Fernandez goal, obviously. He was the highlight for me in the MK Dons game. So I didn't know he was 21. So I'm kind of agreeing with Stel now that maybe he is the fourth.
I want to bring up this, Stel, because you've joined a bit later. You know, this pre-season so far, have you learned anything from it? Is there anything that De Zerbi could have gained from this time or watching these players? It's been very mishmash. I mean, I'm hoping now the next 3 pre-season friendlies we'll see closer to what the first team will look like. Just your kind of, because you've been doing watch-alongs for them, you know, what's your thoughts on that, mate?
Well, I was one of the fans last season that said that the way Frank wants to play football is why all our passing metrics and all our passing accuracy stats have dropped. It's not because everyone is shit. Everyone was saying every single player is crap. I said, no, we need new players. You know, it's not Frank's fault that he's inherited half a team that's not good enough. But if you look at just under De Zerbi, our passing accuracy averages over 90%. That is excellent. That is excellent. Our possession is up. The number of passes in the final, all the possession-based metrics are up, not per player, as a team. So that's a coaching improvement. So I think next season we're going to be a passing, possession-based team. Playing out from the back, we look great. I think Kinski's beginning to prove some doubters wrong. The people that will always doubt him are always going to doubt him.
Kinski.
He's been flawless so far. So I think constantly playing out from the back, possession-based team. Our pressing's been the best thing I've seen, Dan. I think our pressing is absolutely on point. We are going to be one of the best pressing teams in the league next season. Mark my words. However, that front three is shocking, absolutely woeful, man, and that's the problem. And I think when you haven't got Kudus and you haven't got Maddison, and you haven't got Simmons and you haven't got Fernandez, and there's no creativity, then even the number 10 role becomes a joke because Gallagher can't do it. Gallagher's not a 10, but he's been asked to do it and he looks awful at it. So we need to get in new attackers, or De Zerbi's going to have to perform some kind of coaching miracle. I know coaches can improve players, but you can't improve every attacker at the club.
No.
If he does, De Zerbi's worth more than the 60 million we gave him. He's worth 120 million. If he can turn around Solanke, Richie, Tell and Solomon, he's got to be one of the best managers in the world, you know? So
Do you trust his selection though on a forward player? Do you trust it? Because I'm sure there's players that you have on your mind would love to come to Spurs. We know we can't choose. We can't choose who's coming in. What do you trust? Say it is a Gakpo, for example. Say De Zerbi really wants Gakpo, Savinho. Do you trust De Zerbi to pick the right players? Where were your heads at with like that? Kind of say when they start and how well they do and so on.
Dan, I don't think it's about who De Zerbi wants. I think it's about who we can actually get. I think we've actually got a problem trying to bring in the players. As in, if we want Osherman, we're not going to give him 400 grand a week. You've got to be stupid to do that. So we can't get him. If we want Krupi, well, we can't. He's injured. So I think it's a matter of who can we get. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to buy whatever's available that's just better than what we got, but it's not really what we want.
Chris
like
Wood.
Gakpo. I don't know, Cookie. I don't know, but I think we're going to end up with players that we don't necessarily want, but we're going to buy them because it's just better than what we've got.
Yeah.
And it's a shame it has to be like that, isn't it? It's better than what we got, so we got to take what we can get rather than buying a player that's actually going to fit what De Zerbi wants to do.
Yeah,
But then again, who do you go back to? Sorry, Brian.
Oh, bro, you go.
Who do you go back to then? Is that Enid because they haven't moved quick enough? Because they had so much to do? Yeah? Is it because they've done it the wrong way? Because they've gone back to front instead of front to back? I don't know. So again, the problem is there's so much to do. Right? There's so much to do. Right? Again, I am sceptical because we've gone 2 weeks when I know there is so much to do. I think that maybe they should have been getting on, even if they weren't getting players in. Yeah, keep culling this squad because you don't need them all. You've just listed however many players between you, yeah, that can be on their bike. So again, it's all. There's so much to do. And we have to be, I don't know, like Brian said earlier, patient, if you like. They're going to do what they're going to do, and that'll be it. And we have to accept it as fans, regardless whether that's who we wanted or who we didn't want. My main thing is when they're bringing someone in, does it improve the team? All right? Does it improve the first team at the moment? Because we haven't got a first team at the moment, and we're, whatever it is, 2 weeks and 4 days away from the first game. That's what bothers me.
I just want to comment on Sonny's, and I'm going to say when he's going on about Morgan Gibbs White's just bought a new house in Nottingham, he's going nowhere. You do realise this guy's a multi-millionaire and he could rent his house to another Nottingham Forest player, or he could simply buy another house in London or wherever he goes. Because he's bought a house in Nottingham, it's not like all of us buying a house and then all our money's tied up in it. We got no funds. Just because he's bought a house in Nottingham, an upgrade doesn't mean he can't rent it out like players do to other players that have moved into the club when they go. Anyway, going back to this window, what has made me laugh this window, and this is what I see and reflect on with me taking the step back and not jumping into everything. For years and years and years, people like myself and Stel and you two and people in the chat that have wanted change at this football club and have wanted us to spend the money, and the amount of deals we've lost out on because we've panicked, we've staggered, we've stalled, we've then lost the money and said, why don't you just pay the money? But then we go and pay the money and it's like, well, now we've overpaid. It's like, so wait a minute, you wanted us to spend money, but now when we're spending money, we're spending too much. And then you look at it, and Paratici said this. He said, would you rather overpay 10, 15, whatever the number be, to get the player the manager wants, or keep going cheap and having to get another player in because that one hasn't worked, then that one hasn't worked, then that one hasn't worked. Prime example. We sold Kyle Walker for £50 million. The best right back in the Premier League alongside Gary Neville, but in recent times, the best right back. We had Kieran Trippier, who I loved, but we mismanaged and overplayed once again. So what did we do? We had 50 million, and rather going, do you know what? Let's go and buy a right back of quality and use this 50 million. What do? We brought in Serge Aurier. When Serge Aurier didn't work, what did we do? We brought Matt Doherty. When Matt Doherty didn't work, what did we do? We bought Emerson Royale. When we didn't have Emerson Royale, we went and bought Porro, and I'm sure there's another right winger that right back I've missed out in that equation. So from the 50 million we inherited for buying Kyle Walker, we spent over 130 million pounds trying to find Pedro Porro. So if people thought Tonali was 60 million or whatever, the fact that we paid 20 million more or whatever it is more than we did or whatever, fine. That's who the manager wanted. That's who the manager has said is the part of his goddamn midfield. I'd rather go and spend 100 million on player A the manager wants than go and spend 150, 160, 170 by buying cheap crap that we then can't get rid of, like we're trying to suffer with now, that we cannot get out of this football club. So Jed, thank you, audio. So it went Aurier, it went Doherty, it went Spence, it went Emerson Royale, and then Pedro Porro. 5 players, almost spending treble the amount of what we got for Kyle Walker. So if we've had to spend a little bit more on these type of players, like a Van Hecker at 52 million in the last month. How much did Manchester City paid what for the Crystal Palace defender Guehi with 6 months left on his contract? They paid 30 million.
Yeah, I was going to say.
No one said anything. Last 6 months of his contract could have gone on a free. This guy's going into the last year. De Zerbi said, "Listen, I've developed this guy at Brighton. He knows exactly everything I need to do as a defender and has all the attributes I need." And we went and bought him. And not only that, we bought the defenders in, and Senesi, who's a great bit of business at free. We bought all these players in. None of this we have to sell to buy. Now it's holding it up because we've got an overflow of players. We went and got all the defenders in we needed. Whether you agree with the Robertson or whatever, we got all the players in before we got rid of the players we don't need. So I've got no problem with paying this extra bit of money. I've got no problem with what's going on. And like I said, I believe we'll get the forwards in. But like we said, we were talking about how we don't spend money. And why did we pay the money for X? Why did we offer more for Gibbs White? Why did we pay for Eze? What? Stel and I could probably do a 3-hour back and forth with players we've lost because we wouldn't pay the money. That would have made a huge difference. But now we've got to pay the money for the players that the manager thinks will make a huge difference. We're overpaying.
I don't get that personally.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Brian. Obviously inflation, the prices of players over the last 2 or 3 years have just rocketed. And I feel like, especially this season now, again, players like Barcola being mentioned for 130, 140 million. It's big money on players now. And your average player, whether you like it or not, is 60 mil, isn't it? That is your average player now. It's about 60 mil. So, all this in the past of like Levy back in the day, I'll never buy an £100 million player. We heard all that just a little while ago again. It weren't that long ago. Well, we've virtually done it now. If we haven't done it, we virtually have, in Tonali. And, I think that I just want us to be a bit more ruthless. I think there's players maybe we could have got or we could have got onto earlier on that, as Roberto De Zerbi has whispered in other people's ears, sweet nothings to get them to come. Yeah? We could have been doing it a bit earlier. I just don't like the 2-week thing, Dan. I don't like that there's been a 2-week break when there's so much to do. It's not even like you're hearing that this one's going and that one's going, and it's just been dead quiet, isn't it?
Yeah.
The problem is you've got 6 years of damage that ENIC have done to this club. Since sacking Poch, it's just been like this. Dropping out the top 4, dropping out of Europe, in a relegation battle twice. And it's the damage done, and the damage, to repair that's probably going to take the same time. So we can't do it all in one window. But the problem we've got is we kind of need to, because if we don't, the attack for me was the biggest problem at the club. Mm-hmm. I know some people say it's the midfield. I don't think the defense was a major problem. Okay, it needed fixing, but that attack was the biggest problem, and because that's the one we haven't addressed. Now all that excitement, momentum, passion is just dying off. It's fizzling out, and now you're watching all the YouTube channels. It's, why haven't we done this? Why is he still there? He's rubbish. We're going back into that negative, toxic. So, but that all comes down to ENIC. They did this. This is 6 years in the making. They and don't forget, the last 2 years we've made losses. The business is registering net losses, so we're not making profit. We're making losses. They've cancelled building the hotel. They've put it on pause because of the financials. So just look at how we've regressed. Making net losses, finishing 17th twice, hotel being put on hold. It took 6 years to get there. Now we need to go back up. We're going to need time. We're going to need time.
You're talking about patience, Stel. You're talking about a little bit of patience.
So I just quickly checked. This time last year.
Yeah, that word patience. Rome wasn't built in a day. Yeah.
No, I want to say this last window with Frank, who obviously I was going absolutely orgasmic over, and my God, it was the stupidest sentence I've ever said in my life. Let alone talking about football, the stupidest sentence. And I went to school with Stel, and he's heard me say some stupid things. So to say that this one is the stupidest, but this time last year, our football club had brought in on July the 10th, Kudus, then Paulinho came in a year ago yesterday, and then Xavi on the 29th of August, and Mawani, that great bit of business, came on deadline day. So we had only this time last year.
And Brian, none of them are available right now.
Well, that's just, but what I'm getting at is, look what we've done. Look what we've done this window so far. Yes, listen, we all know the forward line. Everyone would say the forward line is the major issue. It most certainly bloody well is. And again, but you know what? The way I look at it is the front forward line is a major problem for a load of people. Chelsea have had to go buy Danny Welbeck. They brought Danny Welbeck in. The front line, and because modern day football is one striker, the market's these big strikers aren't going to come to Tottenham with no Champions League football. You look at we grew up in a time where we had Berbatov, Keane, Defoe, Pavlyuchenko, or what we've grown up in time where we've had 4 great strikers or 3 that could rotate and choose from. There's one striker now. You play one striker, and it's affected the market because all the good ones are stepped up for big money and want Champions League football. So we got to be clever with this one. We got the forward line, the wingers. I think we can get and sort out. And I wish we'd addressed it already. Do I think, like I said when I first came on, left winger and striker? Do I think it will be finished? It will be sorted by the end of the window? Yes, I do.
Right, guys. I've got to move this on because I ain't got too much longer. Before I close the show down, I just wanted to cover one more thing. I just wanted to hear your thoughts on this, guys. So we've got the 3 pre-season friendlies left, right? 2 are behind closed doors. I know they'll probably be on Spurs play. Don't quite understand why they're not in the stadium, but it is what it is. Ideally we wanted our forwards signed, right? Our new forwards in. We would want our best starting 11 playing together, partnerships developing, patterns becoming automatic. I know, Stel, you said about that you've already seen signs in pre-season with the pressing and the passing and the possession, which is all good. Do you really think that we're going to be hitting the ground running this season? Because I think we're going to have a bit of a slow start, to be honest, because the team is nowhere ready yet. We haven't seen the first team together. There hasn't been really an opportunity for the first team to play due to injuries and players coming back from the World Cup. Are you expecting a slow start, or you might disagree and you might think it's a fast start? Just talk to us about that, guys. Anyone can go first.
Brentford away is not an easy game to start the season. We tend to get a draw there, or it's always a tough game for us. It's all going to come down to one thing: who's going to score the goals? If we go up to Brentford, put 2 or 3 in the back of the net, we'll beat them. But if we go up there and we're creating chance after chance and we're just not hitting the target, or P-rollers into the goalie's hands, and it's going to be a long day for us, and that's going to be the story of the season. It's such an impossible question.
Are fans going to have that patience, though? This is the worry, isn't it? If we don't hit the ground running, are fans going to start going wild and not having that patience? Which I feel that we do need a bit of patience with all these new signings and new system and everything.
I'll tell you where the patience might come. The last 2 years at home, I was a season ticket holder. Watching 4 or 5 home wins 2 years ago and watching 3 or 4 last year is unacceptable. When you pay minimum £1,000 and you get 4 wins, you're paying £250 a win. Now, if you've got the £3,000, £2,000 tickets, you're paying £750, £500 per win. If at home we're winning at least half the games, and we're drawing, we're not losing lots and lots and lots like we did last year's, I think there'll be some patience. I think fans are like, do you know what? This feels so much better. Yeah. If that home form doesn't have a big uplift, no, it'll turn. This fan base does it every time. The fan base will turn 100%. So I think it's going to come down to the home form. That's my thought.
Do you think we'll start fast though, Stel, or do you think it's going to be a bit slow? Because I think it might not be as brilliant as many fans may think it's going to be with all that money spent so far. I don't know how it can. Obviously, it's not impossible. We could start fast, do really well, but I just worry, really. I just think we'll have a lot of possession, a lot of the ball, but it'll get to that final third, and that's where we're going to struggle. We're going to come up against so many low blocks this season at home, and you need quality to break them down.
Dan, I honestly can't answer this question because I think.
What's your inkling, though? What's your inkling? I think we're going to finish.
I think we're going to finish between 8th and 10th at best if we don't sort out the attack. I think we're going to be a mid-table team if we don't sort out the attack.
Okay, fair enough. Anyone else want to come in here with that? What am I worry about the slow start? Well, it's not worry. It just could happen.
I agree with you, Dan. Yeah, it is a bit worrying. It's just a bit worrying. The whole thing's a bit worrying. Like I say, you only need, and sorry again if it sounds pessimistic, but you only need 2 or 3 injuries to your forward players. You get 2 or 3 in, and you get 2 or 3 injuries, whether it's to them or others or whatever it is putting pressure on others again that probably shouldn't be anywhere near the first team. Don't want to be in that position again. And again, I'll get what everyone says. You can't do everything in a way. I'll get it. I really do get it. Right. But I just think we've wasted 2 weeks. 2 weeks has gone by. And in the background, they could be trying to do stuff. I'm not saying that they're not. Right. But every other bloody team manages to get things over the line when they need to. And I just... No, it could be a slow start. If they don't get an attacker in, it could be a slow start. That's the best way I can answer it.
What about Cook here about, what I said about, how it all is going to come together on the pitch in regards to, the first team, how we play, because we haven't seen the first team. We probably won't really see the first team until the start of the season. Let's be honest here. Pedro Porro coming back late, Senesi, whoever else coming back into this team. Maddison's out again, injured. Doggy, don't know where he is, if he's injured or not. What do you think it's going to look like on the pitch, Cookie? Do you think that we're going to play well? Do you think it'll be frustrating? I don't know, mate. What do you reckon? Any idea?
Listen, anyone can hit the ground running. They could just come in, mould up, and then as players are coming in, over that first 2 or 3 games, if that's when we're buying the players, they could come in and hit the ground running. Who's to say that they're not going to, right? But at the same time, like I've said on our show, you've got to have a bit of patience with this, because if it doesn't hit the ground running, and like Stel says, everyone will be moaning, get the manager out, he don't know what he's doing, and we go back to square one again. Do you know what I mean? So it's just, you've got to have patience with it. If you think that this bloke is the man to do the job, right, then let him have his time to do the job, and let's see if the people above give him what he wants.
Yeah, there's got to be a baseline performance level, isn't there? We've got to see something's working on the pitch.
I agree about the home form with what Stel said. It's not good enough. Yeah, and I think that could be a starting point. That may be his starting point that he looks at and says, you know what, look, it's not good enough. Whether you're new players here or not, it's got to improve. We've got to start the ball rolling somewhere. So let's start with the home form, you know, and then build up from there throughout the season. You might get half decent cup run if you've got some new attackers that are fit, you know. Yeah, but we just wait and see, mate. You know, we just wait and see. We'll wait and see. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised we get to the first game of the season and Kudos ain't available, Maddison ain't available, Fernandez ain't available because he's playing this week or whenever the next friendly is, and he does do his calf. Do you know what I mean? It's like, who knows? Who knows, man? Who knows?
Fair enough, Cookie. And I'll go to Brian. You know, as we mentioned earlier, we got Brentford away, Newcastle at home, Forest away, Everton at home, and Villa at home. Looking at them fixtures, does that fill you with any confidence that Spurs can pick up some good wins in those games, or are you like, okay, well, I'm not sure about some of those matches? Where's your head, mate?
Well, the most important thing is that Aston Villa, both those Aston Villa and Newcastle games have become a bit more than games, because one, we need to shut fucking Gabby Agbonlahor the hell up, and all this fucking nonsense with their it's not fair. It's not fair. And the Geordies, and I love the Geordies that can't work out why we're able to spend money. The nonsense that's coming from so there's that. Now I'm looking at this, like I said, this season I'm going to be a lot more zen, a lot more. When I need to go fucking nuts, I'll go nuts, but I'm not going to just come on and rant and go mad all the time. People are going on about the one game a week, the one game a week. Oh, that means we should get Europe. I've said it, and I have this conversation with the Hotspur herd every single time. I want Spurs for the first time in a very, very, very long time to use one game a week to actually challenge for both domestic cups. It's been 36 years come May that Tottenham Hotspur haven't been in an FA Cup final, let alone win the fucking thing. That is a crime. That is, if someone had said to any football fan, regardless of Spurs fan or not, in 1991, Spurs won't be in an FA Cup final until 2027, every single football fan would have gone absolute fucking bollocks. That's their. I want us to take this cup run fucking seriously. Even Jose Mourinho used to say at Chelsea, winning that Carabao Cup, he took it damn seriously, because once he won a cup, yes, we won the Europa League, but I mean the domestic cup, the appetite for these players will get stronger and stronger. Yes, it's not going to go, oh, I'm going to come to the FA Cup holders for the big players, but we've been known to be a cup team. Let's start winning these bloody cups and taking them seriously and trying to win them, and not use this, let's try and get Champions League, because the other teams are going to spend big and we got to close the gap. Stel said 8th to 10th. I will say it right now. If someone said to me the 8th place in FA Cup right here, right now, I'm taking it all day long. All day long. But getting back to the start of the season, remember, when De Zerbi came in, he said, I am not trying to change anything until the end of the season, because I don't want to complicate it and make things fucking hammer the new things in such a short time. The number one aim is survival. Once we got survival, then they've come into pre-season. We've got two great passers of the football in Van Hecker and Senesi when he does play that can spray the balls around. So when Porro and people make these runs, it won't be some prat trying to do it and like the Michael Dawson diagonal and going nowhere. I think we play a lot better football. I think we play a lot more expansive. Does that mean we're going to win every game? No. But like Stel and Cookie said, the style of football is going to be better and more entertaining. The home form has got to get off to a flyer. Has got to. Because if we don't win the first few home games, it's going to be like, oh my God, this bloody stadium. So I honestly, I want us to beat Villa and Newcastle a million times more than I would have done this time last year, just to shut their goddamn fans.
And they're tasty games now, aren't they, Brian? You're right. Yeah, tasty matches now.
Because Newcastle fans want to bitch about money when whether Stel and I, who have protested and done everything for years and years and years, we've wanted them to do this, and we've been waiting for them to do this. Now they've made a dent this window and say, look, we can spend it. Not that we're going to do this constantly. This is what we want. Newcastle fans can't work out that they haven't got the money, they haven't got the concerts, they haven't got this, they haven't got that. And for all the waiting, don't get me wrong, Levy could have done this. He chose not to. And we saw with the Van Hecker, pull your pants down. It was about winning the negotiation, not bringing in the player that was best for Spurs. I think we get off to I'm not going to say a superb start, I'm not going to say a great start, but I think we get off to an exciting start. We see a much better brand of football. I believe, like I said, the left winger and the striker comes in.
So not an Ange start then? Not an Ange start.
I wouldn't go as far as an Ange start.
8 out of 10 wins, weren't it, or something like that? When it?
Yeah, we drew again. Yeah, but I believe we're like I said, it all comes down to addressing that front line. Whether it's before Brentford or before the end of the window. As I said, if you said to me right now, Marmoush comes in after the Brentford game, I will bite your hand off and wait that time to get in a player of that quality. But I think De Zerbi's got his pre-season in. The squad's been reshaped with players that will suit the style of play he wants to play. And now the players have got to get on the pitch and do it. But I think we get off to not that it's going to be hard, a much better start than we did last season and previous seasons, or the second season under Ange. We started off last season with 2 wins, didn't we? Man City and Burnley. Do I see 2 wins at Brentford and Villa or against Villa? Yeah, I do. But then you got to push on. So I'm genuinely, for the first time, minus my Frank obsession last season. Take that away, because that was all my fucking absolute delusion about that man. I can't remember the time I've been more excited for a season. Like, genuinely excited to see what we're going to have in our locker. Not saying we're going to, I think 8th in the FA Cup. But for the first time, I haven't had my beady little eyes focusing on them, almost said words that will get you cancelled, imbeciles at the top. And I'm actually looking at the football going, yeah, do you know what? I'm actually going to be excited about what my football team can do and the style of football they're going to play and what's ahead. So that's the way I am. I think we get off to an okay start. And we get the left winger and we get the striker. Hopefully some others. But I'm going to be this season, I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to stay away from all the nonsense and the bickering and the moaning and the bitching. Unless it's me bickering, moaning and bitching, then it's totally acceptable. But yeah, I'm just going to try and enjoy being a football fan, not what the fuck are the board doing.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Guys, big up to everyone in the chat. Smash the like, subscribe to us all if you can. I've got to shut the show down. I've got a few things to do. So guys, final thoughts from anyone on the panel. Appreciate you for jumping on this afternoon. Thank you very much. Anybody want to say anything?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, get some bloody forward, Spurs, please. And then just settle everyone down a little bit, including me.
Calm me down a bit. Calm
me down a little bit, because then I know whenever we've got 11 fit first-team players, and these are all fit, and they'll probably be his first team for a little while, it's his first team. Do you know what I mean? So I just get some forwards in. Get us a left winger and a striker. and maybe a number 10, and then at least we can kick on with the season. Let's see what happens.
I'm going to say what I said on We Are Tottenham TV, what I said on my channel. I say it here. I honestly think De Zerbi will get us back to being a top 4 team at some point in the future.
Yep.
Whether it's 2, 3, 4 years, he's going to do it. I honestly think, and the club will do enough to get us there. It's in the club's interest. That money's, very healthy for the club. It's what we do when we get there. When we become a top 4 team, are we going to go big? When we failed Poch, when we failed Conte, when we failed managers that did it, when we failed Redknapp when he did it. Let's see what honestly, De Zerbi will make us a top 4 team again one day in the future. What do we do then?
Probably
That's when I'm going to judge Enoch properly.
This is the one thing I will say. This will be very, very quick. And I've heard Stel say this on We Are Tottenham TV or shows. And the way I've said it on Tottenham on Tour is I completely agree with Stel. If we get top 4 or we get 6th next season, let's just say we get Europa League next season. Have they done what they've done this summer to get us out of trouble and back amongst where we should be? When we get there, we'll see what they're doing. But they can't have a second or third good window without having the first good one. The first good window has to come somewhere to start this happening regularly. So you can't go, if we get champions. They've set their stall and bought big this summer in key areas. Yes, they've left out the fundamentals, but we can't go on and have a second or third good window. Let's say we get Europe without having the first. We haven't had a window like this under Enoch's tenure, which is inexcusable, but we haven't bought quality like this. We're still time to go and got players out. Yes, we still need to get more players out. But Vuskovic out, Lancashire out for 20 million. We've actually brought in decent money from players. Normally we're sending them out on loan with fucking cheap options or obligations, or we sell a star and then we replace them with more crap. So we can't have a second good window or a third good window until we've had the first. So let's just hope they build on this. And next summer, we're in a place to say, right now, like Stella said, and I agree with, now you go and spend big again where we need.
Can I just add, people in the chat, I never said we're going to get top 4 with Richie, Solanke and Tel. I said De Zerbi will get us top 4 in the next 2, 3, 4 years, meaning we're not going to have the same attackers now that we're going to have in 3 years' time, which is why we're going to do it, right? I literally just said with these attackers, we're going to finish mid-table. I said it about 10 minutes ago. But I do think in the long term, we are going to address the attacking issue at some point. And then we will be able to be top 4. So we're going to play football the right way, guys. We've got a manager that's going to play football that we're going to love. I'm telling you, I've watched pre-season against weak teams, yeah, but it's the intent and the way we're going about our business is the right way. It's exact. When you try and look for, I can't explain it. There's certain things I look for, and all the things I'm seeing are right. All the things I'm seeing that they're trying to do are right. Whether they can do it or not is a different story, but they're trying to do the things that's going to make us. I think we're going to be at least entertained. That word entertained. Whether we win enough games is a different story, but we are going to enjoy the football. We will.
Yeah, we will. As long as we've got some forwards at the top there to put the ball in the back of the net. That's what is pending, isn't it? It's what is pending.
I have to say, just let me say, Bob,
he's on a wind-up, Brian. He's on a wind-up.
I've just said to him, he couldn't rattle a kid's toy rattle. And he said, is this a challenge? Last time he came on, he wanted to challenge me. It was on Mark's show. It was on Cookie's show. He challenged me by agreeing with everything I said.
Mate, he came on my show. I did a watch-along. He came on to set me straight and ended up agreeing with me.
That's what he did to me. He came on and shouted at me.
I love Box Office.
He is one of the nicest guys you could ever wish to meet, and I love that man. Yes. I would take a bullet for that man. I love him to bits. But he came on shouting, called me a chocolate pie and a cherry pie, shouted about everything that I said, but it was like, and then agreed with me, with what I said.
He did. He did. It's going on about quarter of a cherry pie. I don't want quarter of a cherry pie. I want the whole cherry pie.
Yeah,
he's
but
not
box
out.
office comes on and he does make the shows interesting. He like a bit of debate. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff. Big up to box office. Big up to you, mate. Set up a show, mate. Fight some people you want to debate and do it on your channel, mate. You don't do enough on your own channel, mate. You should do it. Get some shows going, mate. I've got to shut the show down, guys, but I appreciate big up to Cookie for coming on, Stel and Brian. Thank you very much. Big up to everyone in the chat. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my guests and smash the like button. Subscribe to me if you hasn't. This is the guys' channels. Thank you so much. And yeah, we're all waiting here now for the signings and yeah, for some news. It's all a bit of a struggle, isn't it, really? Getting very close now. 3 weeks to the start of the season, 22nd of August, away to Brentford. Let's hope the club get a couple of forwards in before that game. And yeah, it's all systems go. So big up to everyone. Appreciate you all. Take care of yourselves. And as always, come on, you Spurs. See you later.
Spurs.
Come on, Spurs.